John was doing music. He was a rapper, up-and-coming rapper. My soul, my heart, my world, all of that's gone.
It's been gone since December 16, 2020. That's when Lakeisha Jeffrey found out her son, 26-year-old John Johnson Jr., and another man had been gunned down outside a food mart on Gagel Avenue in Louisville.
There are no words in the dictionary that could have me to describe to you that feeling or what we feel every day without him.
John was a father of 3. Lakeisha says during the pandemic, she was mainly worried about her kids getting the virus. Now the word pandemic has taken on a different meaning.
We are in a pandemic, not only with COVID, but with these brutal murders that are happening in the city.
The fear is it could get worse.
A lot of people have been discussing that.
Crime always tends to go up during the summer.
The days are longer, the weather's better, they're out, they're gathering.
This year could be exceptionally bad. Experts like Dr. Alex Carmen from Tarleton State University in Fort Worth believe the lifting of COVID restrictions and the anger that's been building up is creating a perfect storm for violence.
That some people have lost their jobs, the fact that some people have lost their loved ones, and there's just a general feeling of anger out in the streets. We anticipate that the crime rate's going to go way up.
Gun purchases,
gun thefts as well,
also rose during the pandemic. And to make matters worse, there are widespread police shortages across the country and civil unrest. But Mike Bassey from U of L's Southern Police Institute says he's being cautiously optimistic.
Perhaps reduction of the COVID restrictions will allow some of these social programs to come back in and calm some of this violence down.
Dr. Carmen says that will take a while. As for Lakeisha's story, police are still looking for her son's killer. She worries about what's to come.
I can only be afraid for my grandkids and my son that I have left here.
Myra Ansari, Wave 3 News.
Well, gun violence and murders on the rise. It's a problem all over the country. In Louisville, 2020 was the most violent year on record. And we pushed Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher for answers on the violence in our city. Wave 3 News reporter Nick Pick tells us what his plan is.
Shannon, part of that plan, a 2-day summit called Reimagining Public Safety with mayors from across the country. The point of it, talk to these other mayors and find new solutions to a recurring problem. Fisher says the data shows a parallel between gun violence and last summer, the height of both the protests downtown and the pandemic. The reimagining public safety theme is Fisher's way of saying police can't be the only ones trying to solve these issues. The other part of his plan, allocate money differently in the city's budget, putting money into programs that can steer kids away from violence and also into the new Civilian Review Board created last year. Overall, Fisher said it takes everyone to make lasting change.
You know, what I hear from them is we need good policing. We need police officers who can understand what happened to my child and make sure that someone that pulled that trigger is held accountable and is off the street. And then we also oftentimes hear, but we need to give these kids help as well, because the environment that so many of our youth grow up in is full of multi-generational trauma, and they just feel like pulling out a gun is the manly thing to do.
As far as the money is concerned, Metro Council's Budget Committee meeting right now to talk about LMPD's budget and the mayor's recommendation for it. We'll break all of that down tonight at 11 o'clock. Live in the studio, Nick Pick, Wave 3 News.